tell me a little bit about your high school career, growing up in Indiana, where you played, what you played, and how you guys did.
Well, I grew up in Hammond, which was a working-class area outside of Chicago, between the steel mills of Gary and East Chicago. And Friday night was dedicated to high school football, Saturday was Big Ten football, and Sunday was the Chicago Bears, and that was life. And in the winter, you played high school basketball, which I did, and in the spring, you played baseball, which I did. And I was fortunate enough to go to a high school that was good in everything, and we won the state championships every few years, and my coach developed quarterbacks, and I happened to be one of them, and we had high school all-state players. I happened to be a high school All-American, and that got me a scholarship to the University of Wisconsin.
Wow. So in terms of the honor that the Indiana people bestowed upon you, I imagine there's all kinds of legendary basketball players that people would remember or have been honored in that state. But what was it like growing up in the mid-'60s you must have been a football royalty type guy there in the mid-'60s. You must have played a lot of basketball too, I bet.
Well, there were a lot of people worried about where I was going to college, Jeff, that was for sure. And the Indiana Football Hall of Fame has some pretty interesting people, as a friend of mine pointed out to me. Newt Rockne, Hank Stram, Tony Dungy, Tommy Harmon, who was Mr. Football after the war in the University of Michigan.
Sure.
And Chris Schenkel, the sports guy from the Olympics. And there's so many other people that out west they probably wouldn't recognize, but certainly there's linemen that populated the Chicago Bears and various pro teams. And it was a working man's area with football being a centerpiece of life.
How'd you make your way over to Wisconsin? Why not the University of Indiana, who your senior year at Wisconsin, did they not either tie or win the Big Ten in '67?
No, we lost. Actually, Indiana beat us, and they went to the Rose Bowl. Well, I didn't go to Indiana because, A, they didn't look like they ever had a chance to go to the Rose Bowl, and B, the University of Wisconsin was one of the few places in the whole United States that threw the football with a regular, consistent desire, and that's what I wanted to do, and it was a good school academically, and actually it's one of the most beautiful schools in the whole country, being on 3 lakes. So I just went to the right school at the wrong time.
Yeah. Well, you say that you threw the football in high school. Formation-wise, you were out of the shotgun?
Well, we didn't run the shotgun, but our coach decided for a surprise tactic that he had an idea about putting the shotgun in. So we had the shotgun as just one little piece of our offense. Point being is, the pros hadn't decided to do that for another few years, but he was already thinking about it. Well, we didn't really run the shotgun as our main thing, but we had it available, and it certainly came in handy.
Well, now you've worked yourself all the way to Idaho. You had to go back for the Hall of Fame ceremonies, but how did you find your way here into the Sinus Center?
Well, when I was left medical school, I was thinking very strongly about going into sports medicine, which had not really become a full specialty, and was going to do my residency back at Wisconsin in orthopedics. But I decided to spend 1 year of general surgery internship in Oakland, California, and that's where I fell in love with doing head and neck surgery, and then that led to sinus surgery with the new technologies, and happened to meet an innovator in Twin Falls, Idaho, and a friend of his, and I decided to start my own little niche practice of just taking care of sinus patients, and had to move it to a populated area like Boise, Idaho.
Wow. How long have you been here?
Since 2000.
Well, congratulations on your honor, and we do appreciate the opportunity now to talk about all the people over the weekend that blow in sports from the Idaho, from the Sinus Center.
Well, I hope you have fun with that, Jeff.